Okay, is everyone unmuted? Good. I called this Zoom meeting because I have to know where the ducks go during winter.
They go where all fabulous people go in the winter. Palm Beach.
Sarah, you're hilarious.
Stop. Lyle. Okay, go on.
No, really, where do the ducks go during winter?
That's a silly question.
Is this the action figure detailing meeting?
Okay, everyone, let's focus here. Where do the ducks go during winter?
Ducks, or Anis platyrincos, are a migratory aviary species that migrate during the cold season in order to have better access to open water and ample food supply.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's what I was just literally about to say. That exact same fact. Here's another really interesting fact about them that you should know to help you. But, oh wait, I'm sorry, my connection is...
Okay, it's a symbol. Yes, a symbol. And that's our literary device of the week. A symbol is a tangible object that represents something abstract. Like Holden's red hat is a tangible symbol that, through its features, may represent Holden's need to simultaneously hide himself from society while also drawing attention to himself as different from everyone else.
Well, technically speaking,
this meeting is going swimming. I actually think this might help explain the ducks. Maybe we should look at some student journal entries for inspiration. Good call, Lyle.
Do you think the helmet should be magenta or periwinkle?
So, looking for inspiration. This novel always generates rich and lively responses from student readers. And this group of juniors is extremely keen and discerning. Last week, we analyzed our protagonist, Holden Caulfield, and how he lashes out at certain people and the world around him, calling them phony and hypocritical. How does he contradict himself? And is he a reliable narrator? Let's take a look at what your peers had to say. Jordan from period 6 said, overall, Holden Caulfield is not a reliable narrator. There are moments where he admits he does not remember exact details, so the story is just his filtered recollection. He exaggerates, describing others and their habits. His opinions about most people are negative. He is incredibly judgmental and gets caught up in the little things that bug him, ultimately finding a way to make the situation about him. His interpretations put the reader in a boy who cried wolf scenario, where it becomes challenging to distinguish fact from fiction. This is a fair and well-supported claim, Jordan. The first half of the novel introduces Holden, who has flunked out, socially distanced himself, and run away from his prep school to New York City. And on his journey, we realize that Holden is, at his core, deeply insecure, scarred, idealistic, and scared of change. Truly, Holden represents this very relatable childlike feeling of wanting to preserve the idealism of a simpler world, one in which we become frustrated or lash out when we are reminded of how complicated the adult world can be. Jordan continues that the problem is that Holden contradicts himself. A hypocrite is a person who has certain beliefs, attitudes, or feelings, but does not abide by them. His hatred toward phonies seems to come from a place of embarrassment or fear, knowing he is himself a phony. And Jordan, you are perceptive in seeing some of the root causes of Holden's philosophy. It is an understandable and frustrating place for Holden. Think of the contradictions that exist at the threshold between childhood and adulthood, clinging to both innocence and simplicity of youth, while simultaneously contending with the strange new rules of the adult world. Embarrassment, fear, not knowing oneself. Muncie from period 3 adds that Holden has strong feelings of disappointment towards people who only see the outside of things rather than see the inside of things. Great point here, Muncie. A really telling scene of the first half of the novel is when Holden agrees to write Stradletter's English essay, but chooses to write about the baseball mitt of his own little brother, Allie, who died of leukemia. Here is one of the rare times Holden is actually being genuine and openly vulnerable about something. We get a peek into the tragedy of Holden's early life and perhaps a deep psychological trauma. Then Stradlater dismisses this moment of authenticity, which causes Holden to tear up the essay. Holden wrestles with the idea that the adult world is harsh, insensitive, and callous to his idealized understanding of the world. James from period 6 said, we see the story from his point of view, so he can alter it to be anything he wants. But we actually see the reality of the story, almost as if we were him and not someone he is telling the story to. Olivia from period 2 added that this opens up a bigger picture and shows that he could have exaggerated half the story. Holden thinks it normal, even admits that he lies about many small things. When a person tends to lie about small things, it leads to big lies and causes the people that you care about most to lose trust in you. At that point, you are considered unreliable, just like Holden. Also, good points, James and Olivia. This begs the question, why does Holden contradict himself? What does the adult world demand of Holden that he's not willing to do? What does his acting out mean? Well, he does strange and socially awkward things. He runs away from his prep school, heads to New York City, lies compulsively about having a brain tumor and spending the summer in South America, wears this conspicuous red hunting hat, has inappropriate conversations with adults. Muncie from period 3 continues, Holden doesn't tell people he's real, bends and makes up his own life stories that may or may not have anything to do with him at all. Ultimately, Holden displays painful uncertainty about the trajectory of his future. He's lonely, and made to feel even more lonely by his tactics of self-alienation and judgmental lashing out at the adult world. He's conflicted, at once wanting to connect with it, while also condemning it. I really think this class video is going swimmingly so far. But those ducks. Ah, the ducks. Maybe there's a connection. Maybe. Now, as we move into the second half of the novel, Holden continues to clash with elements of the adult world that present him the opportunity to either grow and adapt or recoil and protect himself. What does he do? Ducks. The ducks. This is going swimmingly, isn't it? The ducks. Honestly, I'm feeling a little worked up here, like I'm all calm on the surface, but my little literary legs are going wild beneath the surface. You know what might help? What? First, fix your collar. Thanks. How about a mini lesson on symbolism? Symbolism with more panache. Symbolism! Ooh. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so take a moment, think of a widely recognized image. Oh, there's so many. Right, we see them all around us. Flags, mascots, logos, illustrations on t-shirts, on the hoods of cars, even on the cereal box we buy at the grocery store. Human beings are deeply invested and moved by big ideas like pride, honor, courage, patriotism, duality, maturity, grace, peace, individualism, collectivism, and style. But those ideas are so big and expansive, so hard to hold in your hand, especially because we all live in a material world, surrounded by material things. That reminds me of a great song. The symbol is the solution. It's the literal abstract link we've made to connect the big intangible idea to the relatable material object. For example, the face mask we all see people wearing these days is a physical object with a very simple function to keep oneself and others from transmitting a virus. But that small scrap of fabric symbolizes a bigger set of ideas. It symbolizes health consciousness, a commitment to protecting oneself and others, and a difficult but necessary sacrifice. And those ducks. Yeah, maybe those ducks are a symbol. Yes, it's about adaptation. Holden is stuck on the pond of his childhood, clinging to— Wait! Let's let them think about it. Make it a journal prompt. So this week, here's what you need to do. While you finish reading The Catcher in the Rye, consider and respond to the following journal prompts. Here they are. Number 1, the ducks. Holden persistently asks people the question, where do the ducks go during winter? The first part of this prompt is content-focused. What is the significance of Holden asking about where the ducks go during winter? Consider the ducks. Consider where the ducks live. Consider the winter. Consider the migratory process. What does it all mean? The second part is the persistence of the question. What does it mean that Holden is so stuck on asking the same question over and over and over and over and over again? Number 2, consider the end of the novel. Where is Holden? What does Holden tell us about his future? How can we connect Holden's experience to the reality of the American dream or myth? These final journal entries will constitute your last assignment of the semester. They will be due this Friday, May 15th at 3:23 p.m. As usual, please submit via Google Classroom. What is the point of all this? Well, maybe it's to find the meaning in the subtle things, to understand why life is so difficult for us sometimes, to understand who we are in the world. And if you can find meaning in a duck, well, you can find meaning in just about anything. Yes, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember to stay safe, stay focused, and stay connected. Catch you on the flip side.
Sorry I'm late. Is this the duck meeting?